Hello, DNA fam, and welcome back to the impzonepod podcast. We are here again to talk more TNA wrestling shenanigans. And well, I kind of want to talk about what's happening with the Knockouts Women's Championship over there in NXT land. So currently, we have plans for Kalani Jordan to defend that Knockouts Championship in a triple threat. So this is Jordan Grace is going to be getting another shot along with Lei Ling Lee, which I don't know about, but whatever. Sure, okay. I think this is a bit of filler, so we'll get more into that in just a sec. This is for Goldrush, I believe, so I don't know very much about these WWE, especially NXT shows. So I am going to, I don't know when it even is. I don't even, like, a few of these have been effectively TV specials. So let's see, let's have a look. Upcoming 2-part events. Okay, all right. So it will be the second Gold Rush since 2023, so it's happened before. It will be at the theater at Madison Square Garden, November 18th. Now, I'm not sure when Turning Point happens, but I'll look it up in just a second. So, where does it actually say November 18th? So I don't know when that is. Let's look this up because I do not know. 18th. So that is a Tuesday. So yeah, this is just effectively a branded TV special. Which that's fine, whatever. So I'm not going to go through anything else that's happening here on this show unless it involves TNA or what have you. Usually I do not cover a lot of this stuff that happens in WWE because effectively in a lot of ways it kind of happens in an alternate universe kind of thing. Sort of. There's been a lot of these things, and it's like a lot of them haven't really, like, until titles have been on the line. Like when Jordan Grace was like challenging for the NXT title, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna cover that because it's not affecting TNA per se unless she wins. So, and I just felt like she's not gonna win because like she's been there for like 2 minutes and doesn't have a really great story, doesn't have a really great reason to win it or anything like that. Like, so I just felt like, oh, she's not winning it. So, like, the same here. I might be saying a lot of the same things of saying, oh, these probably don't have much chance of winning it because, like, we'll get into a lot of reasons why. But, yeah, that's why I haven't really gone too deep into many of these things. I didn't really go too deep into Trick Williams before he won the title. I didn't expect that he would win the belt because, again, it was like, you know, the classic WWE HD booking, basically, where it's like, we're going to put this thing together and it's going to be next week. And then, oh, wait, we're going to change the title, you know, type thing. But yeah, like, that was crazy, but whatever. Still, like, a lot of those things, you can argue to say, oh, well, WWE does have ADHD booking, so they might do that, but like when it comes to TNA titles, I do feel like there is a lot more involved in the decision making for TNA on their side of saying, well, if you're going to do this thing, it's got to lead to a 6-month, 8-month, whatever thing, not just in another week or in another 5 minutes, you're going to put the title on somebody else for no reason. And, like, the titles and whatnot, even in this situation, it's all about elevating people. So, despite me going to some depths about, like, why Ling Lee and Jordan aren't going to win in all this, is like, well, it's trying to elevate not only the title, but the people that are holding it, plus the people that are kind of challenging for it in some ways. Like, you're trying to put people onto a certain pedestal. Like I said, I don't think Ling Lee is the right person right now, obviously, for many different reasons. I just don't think that she has the character work to carry the title. I don't like, especially right now, she doesn't have the storyline to carry the title right now. Jordan Grace, like, she's in NXT, so, and she's held that title 3 times, so it's like, yeah, you're treading old ground kind of there, so it's like what's the point kind of thing. Keep going. Like, I think 100% Kalani's retaining here. I don't see Jordan or Ling Lee winning, especially since Ling Lee has basically been relegated to being a tag team person of late, and like, realistically, she besides like for a short period of time upon her debut, she really hasn't won a whole lot of matches in the company. I can't say that she has lost a whole lot of matches either, realistically, but like, ever since she sort of lost a couple of matches, they kind of went, you know what, let's put her in the mid card, let's give her a chance with the Knockouts tag team titles or whatever, because, we don't know what else to kind of do with her, and yeah. So yeah, but, that it is what it is. You need people to be in each role, and it's like, well, we only have so many people, and, it is what it is. So we have to fill those spots with people to challenge for different belts. You can't just have empty divisions and empty storylines and empty matches and whatnot. You've got to make things happen. So yeah, but yeah, no, I this is a big reason as to why, like, one of the big reasons as to why I'm actually going to cover this is that, well, there's not much happening in TNA land since they haven't done anything in over a month, and like, next week is just or this week coming is just some random I'm gonna fight you episode type thing, and then you've got like 1 week before Turning Point, which is going to be in the same arena, I believe, as what NXT had normally been in, the Full Sail Arena, which is a very small arena, honestly. And like, I said this before about, like, I actually don't know where I said it. It was a long time ago, I think, that the Full Sail Arena, if they're going to go for using that arena, it's actually honestly such a small arena for TNA. It's actually really small. Like, for TV tapings, I think, or live TV broadcast, it can be very good. Not for pay-per-views. Not for pay-per-views. Or even the minor pay-per-views, or whatever you want to call them. I don't think that it's big enough. Like, for TV specials, maybe you could argue, but then again, that's a little bit different again, kind of thing as well. So that's the main reason why I'm kind of covering this now, because it's like, oh, cool, nothing's really happening over here, so there's not much to talk about. Yeah, like, because, like, and even if there was, in some ways, it feels like, okay, let's negate it, because basically we have a 1 week or even 1 day turnaround to say, okay, who's winning this show? Well, what story do we have? Hardly any. Basically none. Or whatever. So obviously, in that case, you've got, people who have that distinction of being like, well, how come, or whatever. Like, you've got to think, because like I do think that this has been, like I said this, and I'll probably have to say it several more times, but I think that their problem, or their perceptive problem, is that a lot of these events feel rushed together anyway because they're only put together in a month, or basically only put together in a month, at least on TV. Like, like the more major programs, you can sort of see them coming at least, which is good. But the more minor programs, like, do come mostly out of nowhere. And that's, like I said that before. I said it's, like, really not very good to be like, we don't know what to do, so we're just going to throw something together and we're going to put it together in a month. Like, if at least you were saying, okay, instead of just having this one thing that we're going to put together this month, we're going to treat everything like it's a longer term investment. We are going to focus on 4 or 5 people, 6 people, your quote unquote SmackDown 6, your core 6, your core people in the main event, in the tag team, in whatever. I mean, it'd be probably 6 people in the tag team, so that's 3 tag teams, maybe 4 tag teams. Not 6 tag teams, because that's starting to become really silly. But you know what I mean. You've got to focus on your handful or so of people. So yeah, and like, there's just no reason. Like, maybe you'll get something out of this, but like later down the line, like a rematch for Layling Lee or whatever, or maybe a match for Xia Brookside or whatever, that sort of thing, what have you. But like, realistically, this is not going anywhere. I don't feel. So we're gonna have to wait 6 months at least, or maybe 5 months at least, before we find out, okay, this is where we're going. And I don't know, are we still going down the track of Indy Hartwell winning this thing? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But it does depend on the audience, certainly, too, and whatnot. So again, we start to ask ourselves the question of, like, who, like, if you're looking at that Knockouts title, who's the next person to pick that belt up and carry that division? And I think it's tough, because I really like Dani Luna, and I think that she's deserving of holding that belt, certainly. And I think she could carry that belt with some of the people that are in that division right now. And I was sort of inkling on this in a recent video where I was saying how it's so hard to be like a babyface. Like right now, if like with Kalani turning heel, that sort of shows it as well. It's like really hard to be sympathetic babyface when you're, like I said, kind of thing before, where she's like the face of, part of NXT, but she's like the champion of TNA. WWE is much bigger than TNA, even if you're talking about their quote-unquote developmental league. It is much bigger. So, they have a bigger budget for that. So, and I still think, like, the potential is there for TNA to be on the same network as what they are now, or what they had been on the CW. Because next year they are leaving the CW, I believe. So things are going to shift up there. So TNA could take that spot, and it would be very easy for them to do so. There is a little bit of news that I want to cover quickly, because it does relate to TV deals. I'm not going to go through too much of it, but TNA recently announced a new TV, or reaffirming of a TV deal, more or less, because like this deal has been, I believe this was last year that they had. I can't remember, but yes, TNA has partnered with Colo Sports to bring TNA wrestling to 17 countries in Latin America. Starting January 1st, you can get it, TNA Impact and the pay-per-views, exclusive TNA Presents specials, which I guess is the monthly pay-per-views, or what they're calling the monthly pay-per-views here, through all Colo's platforms, including Colo Video, YouTube, Roku, Samsung TV Plus, and more. I believe that this was a thing that they did like a year or two ago, maybe, as well. So this is just reaffirming that they'll get a renewal of that deal or an update of that deal. Like, maybe, I think it was just the TV, like, deal. Like, I believe that you still could get some of that other stuff and whatnot. Obviously, the TNA Plus app. But now you can get it through Colo Sports. So that's another distributor for TNA in Latin America. So it's, where does it say here somewhere? Oh, it's saying here somewhere. I don't know. Where was it? Where can my list be? I actually think it was, it might have been on Fightful. I don't think, does it really matter? I don't know. I could try to find it, obviously, but what have you. Let's see if I can just find it here. Let's see. Where can my list be? Why can't I find it? Why can I not find it? Why for thou not find the thing? No, I can't find it, apparently. Maybe if I actually... if I just go to Colo Twitter, maybe I can find it there. Where is this? Oh dear. Alright, here we go. Let's see if I can find it here. On their Twitter. Maybe not. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of soccer. Or football. No, I can't easily find it. So, yeah, I'm sure that there is a list of all the South American countries that this is available in. Or Latin American countries that this is available in. So do track your, like, local provider if you're be able to access that and be able to watch TNA more easily. Or more cheaply even so. So that will help some people over there. Plus, just again, more, like, even if you've had a distribution somewhere at some point, renewing a distribution or increasing the distribution and saying, hey, we're also going to provide this, and this, and it's also going to be in Portuguese and Spanish, because those are the main two languages there in Latin America. So I also said this before, that TNA, like, they have their French commentary team that they have there sometimes, usually at the big 4 pay-per-views. Like, it's not that they should have, like, keep saying, hey, we're going to switch over to our Spanish, or we're going to switch over to our German, or we're going to switch over to whatever all the time, because, like, that becomes, like, too much. But, especially when you've got, like, 50-something languages to cover. But just saying, hey, we have by the way, this is available in Spanish, French, Portuguese, this, all the languages that it's available in. But then again, the thing is, like, that they are out there, those Portuguese and Spanish. What, I don't know which one all of them are, but, like, those extra languages are out there available for people. And that's another thing that you should do. You have to make your product available in as many languages as possible. You shouldn't just expect people to be able to, who speak English, to be only the ones able to watch this, because there's a lot of, Mexican and, well, in this case, Latin American speakers of Spanish and Portuguese that would want to understand. And then, like, some people obviously learn English, but still, you shouldn't expect people to learn English. Like, you shouldn't expect anyone to learn a language that they don't want to learn, or what have you, unless it's, like, somewhat necessary. If you're on the border of another country, or you're very close to another country in some ways, you probably should learn that one of those languages that are, fairly close to your region. But that is another thing. Like, if I'm in France, let's say, you've got 3 main languages that are right. Well, actually 4, really. You've got 4 main languages that are right on your doorstep. You've got Spanish, you've got German, you've got English, you've got Italian. So you've got those 4 languages. But if you're sort of right in the middle of France, which there isn't much out there, I don't think, but still, if you're right in the middle of France, like, when would you ever come across a German person or a non-French speaker? Like, it would be very rare. So the expectation to learn so much of another language isn't really there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna sit there and learn these other languages for no real reason other than, hey, I want to, like, so there shouldn't be an expectation. But if you're right on the border with Germany or what have you, then obviously, hey, maybe you really should be encouraged to learn some German, because, there's a lot of German people right across the border. They come across here all the time, or there's people that are, a lot of people in the country that have that language as well. So it's just useful to, make sure you can communicate with people. Like, here in Australia, it's a lot different. I believe in the US, it's a lot different, and most of Canada, it's a lot different. Like, in England, it is a bit different because it is an island mostly unto itself. So I can see why, like, they sort of don't sort of speak this, like, a very similar, or they don't learn very many other sort of closer languages. But still, whatever. I still think some people do, obviously. But I wouldn't mind learning another language. I did try to learn several other languages many years ago. I've learned a little bit of French, I learned a little bit of German, learned a little bit of Japanese. I think I learned a bit of Spanish as well here and there. I also picked up a little bit of Indonesian at some point. I think I was trying to learn a little bit of Mandarin, but like, it is weird with, like, English. I hate tonal languages in some ways because it's harder to learn. But English is actually a very tonal language in many ways as well. But since I grew up with it, it's much easier to kind of through those, like, tonal shifts. And it's not to say that those tonal shifts mean the word is a different word, or, like, it sometimes means a different thing. Like, you can say something more sarcastically or more angrily, or have a certain emotional, like, tone to to a word or to a sentence or what have you. But you're not so much saying, now this means dog, or now this means cat, or now this means pig, or whatever else it is. It's not a completely different word just by the slight amount of tone you've got, or what have you. It's a completely different, you know, set of consonants and vowels and whatnot. Not, you know, yes, that is a tonal shift, I guess. Vowels and consonants are a tonal shift, but, you know, it's a completely different thing. You can tell the difference between dog and cat. You know, you like if I say meow and that means cat or whatever, and I say meow and that means dog or whatever, just because I put a little bit of different emphasis on either the A's or the M's or the R's, and then I say meow and that means pig or whatever. You know, like that sounds like the same thing. It all sounds meow. It doesn't sound very much different, except for the fact that I might have put more emphasis on the M or the A or the R sort of sound. So when something is like that, you're saying virtually the same thing, but the tone is just slightly different. That's where it's like too confusing for me, my little brain and whatnot. But I still want to learn somewhat some of these other languages. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up that because, like, I could do a different video about it, but I ain't doing it, dude. At this point, like, it is that thing where it's like, yeah, that's a thing. It's not the TV deal that we've been looking for, I don't think, but it's still important, certainly, because like Latin America, like especially Mexico, they're big on wrestling, but I think they're much bigger on lucha libre than they are on like the more American sort of style of wrestling. Though I will say like AEW and TNA and New Japan, I think will fit more into the style that, you know, those people, I don't want to say those people like that, but you know what I mean, those sorts of people would like, because, you know, I think like people can obviously like WWE there, obviously there's obviously WWE fans there, but I think the more traditional wrestling fans would prefer things like New Japan, TNA, and AEW because they have more care in them about the, you know, the traditions and the work rate and things like that, you know, that the Mexicans certainly, you know, hold dear. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah, I'm not sure what the direction is yet. No, it will take some storytelling for us to actually get there. So we haven't really received any of that. So, you know, like I saw like this tweet like a while ago with Kalani Jordan calling out a bunch of Knockouts legends. She called out Gail Kim. Who else? ODB. Awesome Kong. Who else? I don't remember, dude. Do I remember? Do I remember things? Do I remember? I don't remember, dude. Can I remember? Definitely can't remember. Maybe I can find it if I look quickly. It might be easier to... Actually, I could find it here. This is where I can find it. This will make it easy. Let's find it. Where is Kalani calling out all the legends? Where bear? Where bear? It is here. Okay, here we go. So Mickey James, Tasha Steelz, which I don't think she's really a legend, but whatever, she's there. Velvet Sky, who's retired effectively, and Angelina Love were the other ones that she called out. Like, obviously there are other people that have come through there, but those are some big names and some current names and whatnot as well. So yeah, okay, it's fine. But yeah. Anyway, I will wait to see, like, cause like, besides Indy, you've got maybe Zaire and Lei Ling Lee, and you've got what's her name, Harley Hudson, and what's her name, Mila Grace. Just for baby faces. That, you know, besides Lei Ling Lee, she's already there, challenging. So who else? Who is on that Knockouts roster that could challenge her? Maybe Lish, but Lish doesn't wrestle very much, honestly. So I don't know. Maybe still could think about it, I guess. I mean, you could get the inspiration there, Cassie and Jesse, but they're tag team people, so I don't really see that. Yeah, okay. I mean, you could do the similar thing as what before. Like I said, I want to kind of see Danny get that bolt, but don't know. I don't know whether Gia is going to keep wrestling. Do you think guys think Gia is going to keep wrestling? I don't know. Jada Stone, she's not there very much, and she's like mostly just a jobber. So, Kylan King's been injured forever. Really want her to come back. Killer Kelly's on the heel side, I think, more or less now. Mara Shade, I'm actually kind of interested in Mara Shade. You know, I'd be interested in that. I think she needs a little bit more time to get there, but she could get there. Myla Moore, she's more of a jobber as well. Rosemary, I mean, she's more of like a legendary jobber as well, kind of thing. So Steph Delander, I feel like Steph has like almost retired, dude. Obviously, you got Tessa Blanchard, but she's on the heel side. You could do similar things as said, but I don't know. Victoria Crawford's on the same side of that as well. So there's not very many people, honestly, that you can build around. I think, like, again, like, maybe building around, like, the idea of Indy winning it, like, and then maybe, like, I said before, like I said, you could put this on Danny and then let Indy chase Danny for a while. Or you can have Indy chasing Kalani for a while and then have Danny beat her and then, you know, go for another chase kind of thing. So I don't know, but yeah, those are my thoughts for now. With regard to that picture, because there's not very many other people that I would consider that are kind of got a story, have been sort of put in a position or what have you, that I feel like you could see, you know, climbing to the top soon. And I still think, like, it sucks so hard, like, you lost two of your biggest knockouts that were there, so that's really put it in a tough position right now. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you have enjoyed this one, and hope you guys will join me again in another one.